I am 33 years old. I have been married to Dmitry for 15 years. We have been together since school. He was the most handsome guy in the class, a tall blonde with a charisma that drew everyone in. I fell in love with him at 16 and haven't been able to imagine my life without him since. I always knew he loved attention. Women looked at him, flirted, and he never refused a compliment. I got used to it. I told myself it was just part of his personality, that he is charismatic, charming, and that's normal, that he always comes home to me. I am not a model. I have long chestnut hair and green eyes, which he called beautiful. I am slightly plump, not fat, but not thin either. I have curves, a chest, hips. Dima always said I was sexy, that he liked my body. I believed him. I believed everything he said. 3 months ago, I accidentally saw a message on his phone. He had left it on the kitchen table and the screen lit up. I didn't want to look, but my name wasn't there. It was another name, Kristina, and a photo, a naked woman, a blonde with a perfect body. I felt the ground slip out from under my feet. My hands were shaking when I opened the chat history. Everything was there. Months of messages, meetings, explicit photos, words of love, the very same words he once said only to me. When he returned home, I silently handed him the phone. He looked at the screen, then at me, and he smiled. He just smiled, as if I had found evidence of betrayal, but a funny joke. "Anya, I wanted to tell you," he said calmly. "I was just waiting for the right moment." I couldn't speak. A lump in my throat was choking me. I expected apologies, tears, begging for forgiveness, but he just sat down opposite me and continued. "Her name is Kristina. We've been seeing each other for 6 months, and I want you to meet her." I didn't understand what was happening. He had been cheating on me for 6 months and now wants me to meet his mistress? It was some kind of absurdity, a nightmare from which it was impossible to wake up. "Why?" I squeezed out of myself. "Because I love you both," he answered, looking me straight in the eye. "I don't want to lose you. You are my wife, my first love. But Kristina, she is also important to me. Meet her, talk, give us a chance." A chance? He was asking to give our family a chance to be completely destroyed? I wanted to scream, run away, slam the door. But then he said the words that froze me. "If you refuse, I will go to her." And that was it. An ultimatum. Either I agree to this insane experiment, or I lose him forever. The man that I had loved for half my life, who was my first in everything, my family. I couldn't lose him, even like this, even at the cost of my own dignity. "Okay," I heard my voice say. "I will meet her." The meeting happened a week later. Dima brought her to our house, where we had lived for 10 years, where I cooked breakfasts, where we celebrated anniversaries, where I planned our future family with children. When she walked in, I understood why he chose her. Kristina was my complete opposite. Short, fragile, with long platinum hair that flowed down her back, huge blue eyes, a large chest, a thin waist. She looked like a doll, a perfect, flawless doll. Next to her, I felt enormous, clumsy, not pretty enough. I saw how Dima looked at her, and my heart was tearing apart. "Anna," she extended her hand to me. Her voice was soft, almost childlike. "I'm so pleased to finally meet you. Dima told me a lot about you." I mechanically shook her hand. It was warm, small in my palm. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to scream for her to get out of my house, out of my life. But when I looked into her eyes, there was no triumph or mockery. There was nervousness? Fear? We sat at the table. Dima poured wine, tried to lighten the atmosphere with jokes. Kristina was silent, occasionally casting quick glances at me. I was also silent, gripping my glass so tightly I was afraid I would break it. "Girls," Dima began, "I know this is difficult, but I really believe we can do this. We can be happy together." "How?" I finally spoke. "How is this even supposed to work?" Kristina unexpectedly answered first. "I don't want to destroy your family, Anna. Really. I know you've been with him since school, that you have history. I'm not claiming to take your place." "But you already have," it escaped from me. "You've been sleeping with my husband for 6 months." She lowered her eyes. "I fell in love with him. I didn't plan it. It just happened. And when he said he loves you, that he doesn't want to leave you, I thought maybe there's another option." I looked at her and didn't understand what I was feeling. Anger? Yes. Pain? Of course. But there was something else. Curiosity? Sympathy? She didn't look like a homewrecker. She looked like a confused girl who was also lost. The next few hours, we talked. Dima explained his concept. We would see each other as a threesome, spend time together, gradually get used to each other. No pressure, no obligations, just try. I listened and thought it was nonsense, that this couldn't work, that I was just wasting time on humiliation. But every time I was about to get up and leave, I remembered his words, "I will go to her." And I stayed. At the end of the evening, Kristina approached me when Dima went out to smoke. "Thank you for agreeing," she said quietly. "I understand how hard this is for you. If you want me to leave and never come back, I will. I don't want to cause you pain." I looked at her big blue eyes full of sincerity, and suddenly I realized she's not the enemy. She's as much a victim of Dima as I am. He manipulated both of us. He manipulated both of us. He manipulated both of us. "Stay," I said. "Let's try." She smiled, and that smile was so warm, so grateful, that something stirred in my chest. I didn't yet know that this was the beginning of something I never expected. The first month was hell. We met as a threesome, went to restaurants, the cinema, walked in the park. Dima held both our hands, kissed, hugged. He was on cloud 9. I, however, felt like an actress in a play where everyone knows the script except me. Kristina tried. She was polite, tactful, never displayed intimacy with Dima in front of me, asked my opinion, was interested in my work, my hobbies. Gradually, I stopped perceiving her as a threat. She became a person. just a person with whom we were bound by fate. Once, Dima went on a business trip for 3 days and suggested that Kristina and I spend time together. Bond, as he put it. I didn't want to, but she texted me herself. Maybe we can go somewhere without him. We met at a cafe, for the first time alone. It was strange, sitting opposite your husband's mistress and drinking cappuccino. But without Dima, the atmosphere between us changed. We started talking, really talking. Kristina told me about herself, that she works in marketing, moved to the city 2 years ago, has no close friends, that she met Dima in a bar and he charmed her from the first minutes, that when she found out he was married, she wanted to leave but couldn't. He said that you two weren't close, she admitted, that you live like roommates, not spouses, that love left a long time ago. I chuckled bitterly. Of course he said that. And to me, he said I was the love of his life. We looked at each other and laughed simultaneously. A strange, sad laughter of two women deceived by one man. We're both idiots, Kristina said. Absolute, I agreed. That day we talked for 5 hours. I learned that she loves old movies and can't stand sushi, dreams of a dog but fears responsibility, that she has a single mother who raised her in poverty, that she searched for stability and protection her whole life. And Dima gave that to her, just like he once gave me. When we said goodbye, Kristina hugged me, tightly, for real. I froze for a second, and then hugged back. She smelled of French perfume and something sweet, vanilla-like. I felt her fragile body in my arms and suddenly realized I'm no longer angry at her. The following weeks, we started meeting by ourselves, without Dima. Shopping, coffee, walks. He was happy thinking his plan was working, and something really was changing between us, just not what he planned. I started noticing details. How she throws her head back when she laughs. How she bites her lip when she's nervous. How her eyes light up when she talks about what she likes. I caught myself waiting for our meetings, thinking about her when she wasn't around. One day, we were sitting at my place watching a movie. Dima was working late. Kristina put her head on my shoulder, sighed wearily. You know, with you, I feel calm. With Dima, there's always tension. You have to be bright, cheerful, sexy. But with you, I can just be myself. My heart skipped a beat. I stroked her hair. It was soft, silky under my fingers. I feel good with you too, I whispered. She lifted her head. Our faces were so close. I saw every eyelash, every tiny freckle on her nose. And in that moment, I realized I was falling in love with her. I was falling for my husband's mistress harder than I ever fell for him.
I tried to convince myself it was absurd, that I was confusing friendship with feelings, that I simply found an ally in a crazy situation. But with each day, it became more obvious. This isn't friendship. Our throuple relationship with Dima moved to a new level. He wanted intimacy, physical intimacy between all of us. And it happened. I agreed because I was afraid of losing him. In those moments, I looked at Kristina, felt her skin next to mine, and understood I am not doing this for Dima. I'm doing this for her, for the chance to touch her, be near her, look into her eyes. Dima thought his fantasy was coming true, that we both existed for him. But he didn't see how Kristina and I looked at each other in those moments, how our fingers intertwined when he wasn't noticing, how I sought her gaze, not his. I was jealous, wildly, painfully jealous, when Dima touched her, when he kissed her, when he went to sleep at her place on days we weren't together. Before, I was jealous of her because of him. Now, I was jealous of him because of her. I caught myself having strange thoughts, imagining us alone, without him. How I stroke her hair privately, how her lips belong only to me, how I wake up next to her in an empty room where there is no third person. I never thought about women like that. Never. I only had men, only Dima my whole adult life. But Kristina was different. She was soft, gentle, understanding. With her, I felt needed, important. With Dima, I was always in the background, a shadow of his charisma. But Kristina looked at me as if I were the center of the universe. One evening, the three of us were at their apartment. Dima got drunk and fell asleep on the sofa. Kristina and I sat in the kitchen, drinking wine and talking in low voices. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if we met in a different situation, if not for Dima. Just the two of us. And what would have happened? I asked, feeling my heartbeat quicken. She looked up at me. I think we could have been happy, together. Just the two of us, without him. The air between us thickened. I saw she wanted to say something else but was afraid. And I was afraid too, but the wine loosened my tongue. Kristina, when the three of us are together, I look only at you. I feel only you. For me, it's like he doesn't exist in those moments. Me too, she exhaled. God, Anya, I thought I was going crazy. I'm in love with you. I've realized it for a month now. When he touches me, I close my eyes and imagine it's you. Only you. We looked at each other and the world around us seemed to stop. Dima's drunken snoring in the living room seemed so distant, unreal. Only the two of us existed. Two women who fell in love with each other in the craziest situation imaginable. Kristina slowly reached out and touched my cheek. Her fingers were cool, gentle. I closed my eyes, leaned into her palm. What do we do? I whispered. I don't know. She was on the verge of tears herself. If we tell Dima, he will destroy everything. He will not let us be together without him. He is selfish, Anya. All this, it's about his ego, his desires. We are trophies for him, toys. I understood she was right. Dima arranged this throuple relationship for himself, to have us both, to feel like a king with two queens. He didn't suspect that we could feel something for each other, that we might want to be together without him. Since that evening, we started meeting secretly. We told Dima we were running errands, but instead sat in cafes, walked around the city holding hands when no one was looking. For the first time in my life, I felt such closeness with someone, such understanding. Kristina knew every my thought, every my feeling. A month ago, everything changed. We were sitting in her car after another girls' meeting, laughing at some nonsense, and suddenly she silent, looked at me with that look, and I kissed her. It was our first kiss alone, without Dima, without his hands, his gaze, his control, just the two of us. Her lips were soft, sweet, perfect. I had kissed this woman many times, but always in my husband's presence as part of his script. But now it was ours. Only ours. And it was more beautiful than anything I had experienced in 15 years with Dima. We sat in that car for another hour, kissing, crying, whispering words of love to each other. For the first time, I was with her for real, not as part of a threesome, but as her woman. And she was mine. Now we're both trapped. We love each other, but are bound to a man who considers us his property. Dima doesn't know. He rejoices that his experiment succeeded, that we're all happy, that we submissively play his game. But we are not happy. I am jealous of Kristina because of him every second. I hate when he touches her, especially hate our shared nights, when I am forced to share her with him, when I see his hands on her body. I want to take her far away where there will be only the two of us. I don't know what to do. I'm married to a man I no longer love. I'm in love with a woman who formally is also his. We're bound to him physically, but our souls belong to each other. And I have no idea how to get out of this triangle without destroying everything completely. But I know one thing. Kristina is the love of my life, and I can't lose her, even if it means continuing to share her with my husband, even if it tears me apart every day.
I'm a genius. No, seriously, I'm a damn smart guy, and I'll prove it. I'm 34 years old, I'm successful, well off, I take care of myself. All my life, women have looked at me. In school, in college, at work. I'm used to attention. I like it. I won't lie and pretend to be modest. I know I'm attractive. Anya was my first love. We've been together since school. I married her at 20 because it was the right thing to do. Because she loved me unconditionally, devotedly. She was mine, completely mine, and it felt good. But after 15 years, I realized I'm bored. Not that I stopped loving her, just routine. The same person every day, the same conversations, the same intimacy. I knew every mole on her body, every phrase she would say. Predictability kills passion. And then I met Kristina at a bar, by chance. A blonde with an incredible body and huge blue eyes. She was the complete opposite of Anya. Bright, young, sexy. When she looked at me, I felt 20 again. Adrenaline, the forbidden, novelty, everything that was missing at home. We started seeing each other. 6 months of secret dates, hotel rooms, lies to Anya. Kristina was amazing, passionate, uninhibited. With her, I forgot about everything. But the problem was, I didn't want to lose Anya. She's my wife, my stability, my support. Plus, I really do love her, in my own way. And then it hit me. Why should I choose? Why should a man give up one woman for another? There's another way. Bold, daring, but possible. A throuple relationship. I knew Anya would agree. She's always been afraid of losing me. Too many years invested, loves too much. I gave her an ultimatum. Either we try it or I leave. And she, as I knew she would, agreed. The first weeks, I watched them get used to each other. It was fascinating, seeing them together, knowing that both belonged to me. Anya, my reliable, devoted wife. Kristina, my passionate young mistress. Two beautiful women in my life simultaneously. I felt like a king. And then, something happened that I couldn't have imagined even in my wildest dreams. They bonded. Not just got used to each other, they started becoming friends. Spending time together, laughing, hugging. And when the three of us ended up in bed together for the first time, I realized this is paradise. Two women, completely different, both beautiful. Anya's chestnut hair and Kristina's platinum locks on one pillow. The curves of my wife's body and the sculpted figure of my mistress. Their lips, their hands, their skin. All for me. All mine. I can't describe this feeling without violating decency, but I'll say this. It was the best experience of my life. Seeing them together, feeling them both, knowing that I created this, that this is my idea, my triumph. My experiment succeeded. My friends envy me silently. They don't know the details, but they see I have something they don't. I go to events with Anya as a respectable family man, and then I meet with Kristina as a free man. And several times a week, we're all together. The best of all worlds. Anya has become softer, calmer. She no longer nags me, doesn't get jealous at every turn. Kristina is happy. She has me, she has stability, she has a friend in Anya. Everyone is satisfied. Everyone is happy. I sometimes ask myself, how did I get so lucky? How did I think of this? Most guys live this way, either in a boring marriage or hiding mistresses. And me, I have both, openly, with consent. Moreover, they're friends with each other. It's genius. I'm a genius. Of course, some consider me selfish, say that I manipulate women, use their feelings, but that's not true. I give them a choice. Anya could have refused, she didn't. Kristina could have left, she didn't. They're here because they want to be, because it's good for them, because it works. I'm just a man who wasn't afraid to break stereotypes, who understood that love doesn't necessarily have to be between two people, that you can love differently. A wife as a foundation, a mistress as passion, and united into one whole. My life is perfect now. 2 beautiful female bodies in my bed, 2 pairs of loving eyes, 2 smiles, 2 pairs of hands, all for me, and I enjoy every second. I created my own little utopia, and it works flawlessly. The last few weeks, I've been feeling a strange unease. Something has changed. I can't figure out what exactly, but the atmosphere is different. Anya and Kristina spent a lot of time together. Too much. Before this made me happy, it meant my plan was working. They're friends. But now I feel like a third wheel. They meet every day, say it's for errands, shopping, just to hang out. They come back satisfied, laughing, and when I ask what they talked about, they answer evasively. Oh, just small stuff. And they look at each other, with that look, as if they have a secret they're not sharing with me. It pisses me off. All of this was started for me. I brought them together. I created this relationship. How can they have something of their own that I'm not part of? Yesterday we were together. I sat with a glass of whiskey. They were drinking wine and chatting in the kitchen. I heard their laughter, saw how Kristina touches Anya's hand, how Anya flips her hair when Kristina says something. That's her gesture when she's flirting. I know it. Known it for 15 years. Wait, flirting? I tried to jump into the conversation, made a joke. They smiled politely and continued, like I'm a guest in their conversation. Not the center, not the main one, just a guest. Later, when we were in bed together, I noticed something else. Before, they both focused on me. I was the center. But now I see how Anya looks at Kristina, how her gaze lingers on the mistress's lips, how she reaches for her, not for me. And Kristina responds. Their hands find each other. Their gazes meet over me, as if I'm not needed, as if they tolerate my presence. No, this is absurd. This is my paranoia. They both love me. Anya has been with me for 15 years. Kristina fell in love with me, not someone else. They can't. There can't be anything between them, not without me, not separate from me. But then why doesn't my wife look at me the way she looks at her? I tried to talk to Anya alone, asked if everything was okay, if she wanted to change anything in our relationship. She said everything was fine, but her eyes were empty. She looked at me like a stranger. There wasn't that devotion, that unconditional love I was used to. Same with Kristina. Before, she'd jump on me when we met, kiss, press against me, whisper how much she missed me. Now she's reserved, polite, asks how work is going, and immediately shifts the conversation to Anya. How's Anya? What did Anya say? Anya was saying, everything revolves around Anya, not around me, around her. 2 days ago, I came to Kristina's without warning. Just decided to drop by, make a surprise. Anya opened the door. My wife. in my mistress's apartment in the middle of a weekday afternoon. Dima, hi. She looked surprised. Embarrassed? Didn't know you were coming. Me neither. I walked inside. Decided to stop by. What are you doing here? Kristina and we were planning to go shopping. She's getting ready. Kristina came out of the bathroom, hair wet. She had just been in the shower at 2 in the afternoon before shopping with my wife. Something's not right here. They left half an hour later, together, arms linked, laughing at some joke I didn't understand. I remained alone in Kristina's apartment and felt like a stranger. I'm starting to suspect the impossible, something that's scary to even say out loud. They can't be together without me? With each other? No, that's idiotic. Anya isn't a lesbian. She's never had interest in women. Kristina either. She only dated men. I know, she told me. But then why do I feel like I'm losing them both? Why does it seem like they're building something of their own where I'm not invited? That I've gone from main character to supporting role. This was supposed to be my triumph, my victory. 2 women, both mine. But now I feel control slipping away, that they no longer belong to me, that maybe they belong to each other. And that scares me to death. I don't know what to do. Ask directly, but what to ask? Do you two have something going on without me? That sounds insane. If I'm wrong, I'll destroy everything with my suspicion. But if I'm right, if there really is something between them, then I didn't create a utopia. I created a monster. I brought 2 women together thinking they would belong to me, and they fell in love with each other. And I'm left out of my own script.
I'm 28 years old, and I never thought I'd end up in this situation. The mistress of a married man, part of a love triangle, in love with my lover's wife. I met Dmitry a year ago at a bar. He approached first, tall, charismatic blonde with a confident smile, flirted openly, gave compliments, made me laugh. I immediately felt his energy. He was a magnet for attention, and I fell for it. We met a few times before he admitted he was married. I should have left right then, but he knew how to talk. Told me the marriage was dead, that he and his wife lived like roommates, that there was no love there anymore, that he only stayed out of habit, but his heart was free. I believed him because I wanted to believe, because I was lonely. I moved to the city 2 years ago, almost no friends, no family nearby. Dima became my light in the void. He gave gifts, took me to restaurants, said I was special, that he'd never met anyone like me. For 6 months, I was a secret mistress. Hotel rooms, stolen hours, lies to his wife. I felt ashamed, but I convinced myself, he's unhappy with her. He loves me. He'll divorce soon. And then everything exploded. His wife found our messages. I expected a scandal, a breakup. But Dima said he had a plan, that he wanted to introduce me to his wife, that he would propose a throuple relationship to her. I thought he'd lost his mind. What wife would agree to share her husband with a mistress? But he was confident, said that Anna loves him madly, that she's afraid of losing him, that she'll agree to anything just so he stays. And he was right. She agreed. When I first saw Anna, I was shocked. Dima described her as a boring, ordinary housewife. But standing before me was a beautiful woman with long chestnut hair and stunning green eyes. She was fuller than me, with curves, with femininity. There was something warm, attractive about her. She looked at me with pain, but without anger. And I felt unbearably ashamed. I destroyed her life. I slept with her husband. I was the reason for her tears. The first weeks were hell. We met as a threesome. Dima played the role of conductor, trying to bring us closer. Anna remained cold but polite. I tried to be as tactful as possible, not to display intimacy with Dima in front of her. But one day, he went on a business trip, and suggested we meet alone. And we did, without him, for the first time. We talked for 5 hours. I learned the real Anna, not her husband's shadow, but a living person with her own dreams, fears, pain. She wasn't boring. She was deep, smart, interesting. Dima just didn't see it, didn't want to see it. We started meeting more often, went shopping, to cafes, watched movies. With her, I felt calm. I didn't need to constantly be bright, sexy, entertaining. With Anya, I could just be myself. Stay silent when sad, laugh for no reason, cry if I wanted to. And then Dima suggested we be together, all of us, intimately. I was scared, afraid this would finally destroy the fragile bridge that Anya and I had built. But Anna agreed, and so did I. That first night together, I was focused on Dima, tried not to look at Anya, not to touch her more than necessary. But then our eyes met, and I saw in her eyes not disgust, not pain. I saw interest, warmth. Her hand touched mine. I flinched. That touch was different, not like Dima's touches. Softer, more tender, more careful, as if she was afraid to scare me away. After that night, something changed. I started thinking about her, a lot, constantly. Waited for our meetings more than meetings with Dima. When he kissed me, I closed my eyes and imagined her lips. When he hugged me, I thought about her hands. I tried to convince myself this was normal attachment, that I was just grateful to her for understanding. But a month ago, I realized the truth. We were sitting at her place, watching a movie. Dima was working. Anna put her head on my shoulder and sighed. I stroked her hair, and my heart beat faster than it ever did with Dima, even in the beginning. "With you, I feel calm," she whispered. "Me too," I replied, and added what I wanted to say for a long time. "With you, I feel better than with him." She lifted her head, looked me in the eyes, and I understood she feels the same. I fell in love with my lover's wife, and it was the craziest, most beautiful, most frightening feeling of my life.
We confessed our feelings to each other a month ago, sitting in the kitchen while Dima slept drunk on the couch, talking in whispers, holding hands. For the first time in my life, I said, "I love you" to a woman, and truly meant it. Anna cried. I cried. We understood what trap we'd fallen into. We love each other, but are tied to a man who considers us his property, who created this relationship for himself, his ego, his fantasies. Since that evening, we started meeting secretly. Dima thought we were just friends, that we hung out, chatted, but we held hands at the movies, kissed in the car, whispered words of love to each other in cafes where no one knew us. Our first kiss alone was a revelation. I'd kissed girls in college at parties, just fooling around to get guys' attention. But with Anya, it was different. Her lips were soft, her taste sweet. I felt my body respond, my heart race. This wasn't curiosity. This was love. The problem is that Dima is between us, physically. Several times a week we're all together, and I have to pretend I enjoy it, that I want him. But the truth is that every touch of his is torture, because I only want her, only Anna. I see how hard it is for her, how she tenses when he kisses me, how she looks away when his hands are on my body. I see the pain in her eyes, and my heart breaks. I want to push him away, scream that I don't need him, that I only need her. But I can't, because if Dima learns the truth, he'll destroy everything. He won't let us go just like that. His ego won't survive it. He brought us together for himself, and we dared to fall in love with each other? For him, it will be a personal insult. The last few weeks, he's started to suspect something. I can see it. He watches us more carefully, asks questions, shows up without warning. 2 days ago, he came to my place suddenly when Anya was there. We weren't doing anything, just sitting, talking. But from his look, I understood. He sensed something. Anya is afraid he'll figure it out. I'm afraid too. But more than that, I'm afraid of losing her. She has become the meaning of my life. In the morning, I wake up and first thing I text her. During the day, I think about her. In the evening, I fall asleep with thoughts of her. With Dima, I was a toy, a pretty doll he showed off to his ego. Look how cool I am. I have 2 women. He never asked what I wanted, what I felt. I was a decoration in his show. But Anna sees me, the real me, not the blonde with the perfect figure, not a sex symbol, just Kristina, the girl who's afraid of the dark, who cries at sad movies, who dreams of a dog and a small house by the sea. She asks how I slept, brings me coffee the way I like it, with almond milk and no sugar, remembers I'm allergic to strawberries, notices when I'm sad, even if I'm smiling. In a year, Dima never learned what coffee I drink. Anna and I talked about running away, going to another city together, starting a new life, just the 2 of us, renting an apartment, finding jobs, just being together without him. But these are fantasies. She's married, they have a shared apartment, bills, a life. I'm a mistress he supports. My apartment is on his money. My car is his gift. We're both in a cage he built, and I don't know how to get out. Yesterday, we lay together in my bed. Dima was at work. I stroked her hair, kissed her forehead. She pressed against me, and I felt her heartbeat. What if we just tell him, she whispered, that we don't need him, that we want to be together, just the 2 of us? I answered, he won't let go, Anya. He's selfish. It will be war. But I'm tired, her voice trembled. Tired of sharing you with him. Tired of pretending. I want you to be only mine. I kissed her, long, tenderly, trying to convey everything I couldn't say aloud, that she's already mine, that she's always been mine, from that very first evening when we talked for 5 hours straight. We'll find a way, I promised. We definitely will. But I don't believe it myself. We're trapped. We love each other, but belong to a man who sees us only as objects of his desires. And I don't know how this will end, but I know one thing. I can't let Anna go, even if I have to destroy everything Dima built, even if it hurts, because she is the only real thing that's ever happened to me.
In front of me is a case that at first glance seems unique, but in reality shows classic patterns of toxic relationships, manipulation, and the search for identity. 3 people, 3 completely different motivations, 3 different truths, and one shared catastrophe that is inevitably approaching. Let's start with Dmitry. He's the initiator, the architect of this situation. On the surface, his motivation looks simple, a sexual fantasy, the desire to have 2 women at once. But if we dig deeper, we see classic narcissism. Dmitry is incapable of deep emotional connection. He's attracted not to a specific person, but to attention, admiration, power. Anna gave him unconditional love for 15 years, and he got bored because there was no challenge. Kristina was new, forbidden, and that excited his ego. But he did not want to lose the stability Anna provided. So he came up with a scheme where he is the center and both women revolve around him. This is not love, this is collecting. 2 beautiful women, 2 trophies confirming his significance. When he says, "I love you both," he's really saying, "I love how you make me feel." His ultimatum to Anna, "Either you agree or I leave" is classic manipulation. He used her fear of loss, her 15 years invested in the relationship, her low self-esteem. He knew she would not refuse, and that was cruel. Now, Anna, a woman who lost herself in her marriage. For 15 years, she was Dmitry's wife, not simply Anna. Her identity completely dissolved into her husband. When he suggested sharing him with another woman, she agreed not because she wanted it, but because she was afraid of being nobody without him. But something unexpected happened. Meeting Kristina, Anna saw herself for the first time in years. Kristina looked at her not as the shadow of a charismatic husband, but as a separate, valuable person. She gave her attention, warmth, understanding, what Dmitry hadn't given for years. Anna's falling in love with Kristina is not a sudden discovery of her sexuality. It is an awakening. For the first time, she felt seen, heard, valued. And it doesn't matter that this person is a woman. What matters is that this is a real connection. Her jealousy of her husband is completely logical. She has finally found someone who makes her happy, yet is forced to share this person with the man who has caused her pain. This is a double trauma. Kristina, the youngest, most vulnerable person in this triangle. She entered a relationship with a married man not because she lacks morals, but because she was searching for love, acceptance, stability. She had no real support, a single mother, a difficult childhood, loneliness in a new city. Dmitry gave her the illusion of care. But real care she received from Anna. The woman who should have been her enemy became her support. And Kristina fell in love not because she decided to experiment, but because for the first time she met someone who needed her not as a pretty picture, but as a person. Her suffering during their threesomes is understandable. She is forced to be physically with a man she doesn't love and to see the pain of the woman she does love. This is emotional torture. What is happening now? Dmitry is losing control. His experiment has gotten out of hand. The women who were supposed to belong to him have found each other. His ego cannot handle it. He's starting to suspect, but is afraid to ask because the truth will shatter his illusion of omnipotence. Anna and Kristina are in a toxic dynamic. They love each other but are tied to a manipulator. They meet in secret, live in constant fear of exposure. This is an unhealthy foundation for a relationship. Love cannot grow in an atmosphere of lies and fear. The situation is unstable. Sooner or later, an explosion will occur. Either Dmitry will learn the truth and cause a scandal, or the women will decide to leave and face his rage, or one of them will not withstand the pressure and break. The main question is, what happens next?
If these three people were sitting in front of me in therapy, I would say the following. Dmitry, you need to admit the truth. You use people. Your relationships are built not on love, but on control and ego. You brought two women together for your own pleasure without thinking about their feelings. When they found each other, you felt threatened not because you were losing love, but because you were losing power. If you truly love them, let them go. Give them the freedom to choose, not ultimatums, not manipulations, honesty and respect. But for that, you will have to work on yourself. Acknowledge your narcissistic patterns, learn empathy, understand the difference between love and possession. Most likely, you will not do this because it requires admitting that you are not the hero of this story. You are the problem. Anna, you spent 15 years in a relationship where you were not valued, where you were the background for someone else's charisma. Dmitry used your fear of loss to manipulate you. Agreeing to a throuple relationship was not your choice. It was capitulation. But meeting Kristina changed everything. For the first time, you felt what it means to be truly loved, not for the role of wife, not for convenience, for who you are. Your feelings for Kristina are real and important. It does not matter that she is a woman. What matters is that she sees you, respects you, loves you. That is what you deserve. You have to make a hard decision. Staying married to Dmitry means continuing to live in a lie, sharing the person you love with a person who hurt you, enduring intimacy that empties you. Leaving means destroying 15 years, facing the fear of being alone, starting over. But it also means freedom, the possibility of being with Kristina openly, the possibility of finding yourself. I cannot make this decision for you, but I can say you are stronger than you think. You survived betrayal, humiliation, agreed to the impossible for the sake of someone who did not value you. You will find the strength for this step too. Kristina, you are the youngest but not the weakest. You ended up in a difficult situation but found love in it. That doesn't make the situation less toxic, but it shows your ability to see the good even in chaos. You fell in love with Kristina not because of some orientation experiment. You fell in love because she gave you what you'd been searching for your whole life: unconditional acceptance. Your feelings have the right to exist, but you cannot build a relationship in Dmitry's shadow. Secret meetings, lies, fear, this is poison for love. Sooner or later, it will destroy what you have with Anna. You need honesty. Talk to Dmitry. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, he will be angry, will manipulate, threaten, but continuing to live in lies is a slow death for both of you. And be ready to start from scratch. Your apartment, your car, these are his gifts. If you leave, you may have to leave them behind, but material things can be earned again. The love you found with Anna is rare and precious. To all three, this situation has no painless solution. Someone will be hurt, most likely all three. But there is a difference between the pain of growth and the pain of destruction. Continuing the current dynamic is the pain of destruction, slow, agonizing decay of relationships, trust, self-respect. An honest conversation and separation is the pain of growth, sharp but leading to healing. Dmitry must let go of the illusion of control and admit that people are not his property. Anna must let go of fear and choose herself, perhaps for the first time in her life. Kristina must let go of dependence on others' approval and believe in her own worth. And Anna and Kristina, if they truly love each other, must give their relationship a chance, an honest, open one, with no third wheel. It will be hard. Society does not always accept same-sex couples. They will have to explain things to loved ones, build a new life, but it will be their life, their choice, their love. Love cannot exist in a cage of manipulation, only in freedom. And freedom begins with honesty, first of all, with yourself.